Hello everybody, welcome back to some more LMKO, last minute kick out. It's me, Kevin, with Turbo. It's the pair of us again. Hi Turbo!
Hi! I'm still champion!
I was about to say, as you can see, he's still got the belt, but it was a close run thing. It was a very close run thing.
I held on to it with iron grip. That's what I did. And iron luck.
He's practically lost all his fingernails he was clawing on there. So yeah, we'll get back to doing like the videos at some point, but because we're just getting like bullet after bullet after bullet in terms of pay-per-views at the minute, we've got like 3 weeks.
Keep up.
3 weeks. No, we just can't. So all you need to know is that it went down to the very last one. It was a tie, and the results of the main event allowed Turbo to keep it. But he was nervous again. He was nervous again.
I was like, well, I knew that the main event was gonna happen, and we'll get into it as we do it. But I kind of knew. Obviously it's that gut feeling. I was like, it's what happened. So
I didn't know what happened on SmackDown, and if I had, I'd have gone for that. But then again, it would have been a tie and still be champ, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I didn't know what happened on SmackDown either, so I was in the same boat.
All right.
So
WWE Payback, aka Backlash for SummerSlam, and
no. This Tuesday in Texas for SummerSlam.
Actually, you're probably right, because I don't know about you. I thought this was pretty crap and unnecessary.
It was very unnecessary. I mean, granted, some of the match they tried to make it entertaining, and it was relatively short.
Did we really have Payback so that we didn't have a 5-hour SummerSlam?
You know what? That's probably the case. Although, granted, it wouldn't make any sense because we had repeats. You know, we had the same titles on the line at points. So
it was silly. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's the best I can do for this. I really can. So we start off though with the kickoff show and a tag team match between the two tag teams we've got in the women's division.
Like proper tag
teams that's not called the Golden Models or whatever they are.
But the Riot Squad versus the Iconics, the Iconics. And I mean, they tried their best to try to make it entertaining try to tell a story.
The ones that have been screwed over versus the ones that have been neglected. I
wasn't invested in this. I wasn't invested in this match because they were constantly having like either singles matches or tag team matches on Raw that would only go like 2 or 3 minutes. You know?
They've been on like this lower card position.
Yeah,
and they've been having a feud for the sake of having a feud,
to fill up time,
which has now had dramatic consequences because Vince vinced. I like that one. Get rid of the other ones.
Yeah,
but they come as a pack.
You're making me remind myself of Big Cass and Enzo. Fuck.
Yeah. But they're happy. That one's doing bodybuilding now. Make her the champion of my World Bodybuilding Federation. That doesn't exist, Vince. That hasn't existed for like 25 years. Well, tough. Make her the champion anyway. And while we're at it, make her a team in the XFL. And I don't know.
Give her to the Rock. He'll build her up all right.
Not at the moment. Wait 2 weeks. He's self-isolating because of COVID. Fuck. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, yeah. I just felt sad. I just feel sad for everybody involved.
Everybody they tried
deserves better than this.
Yeah, they tried their best with this. They tried to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, essentially, and they tried their best. Like, though the story that they were telling in the thing where the Iconics were trying to fool, Ruby Riott and oh Christ, I forgot their other name.
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan, yes, because obviously they've rechristened themselves on Raw as the Living Riot.
Because we're missing our third friend.
Yeah, you can't call them Riot Squad because that was a three-man group.
She's got off and got pregnant now. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. She's fine.
She's fine. She's fine.
Yeah.
She's
got an amazing husband in a Viking.
She has. She has indeed.
Yeah.
But that's a sad situation because that's, yes, indeed she's pregnant now, but she'd already said that she'd kind of given up. She's been made completely disillusioned by the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a sad situation. So they botched Ruby.
Mm-hmm. Hard. They botched her hard.
God. It's difficult to think of a female performer in the last 5 years that they have botched more than Ruby Riott.
Yeah, well, it didn't help that she got injured as well, so that didn't help her.
Yeah, but frankly, that just helped them notice her at the time. And Liv had changes aplenty afoot. And
she went through it. She went through, Booker hell.
Because she got chopped and changed. And,
yeah. So it's like she was teasing this return, and then tried to do an angle with Lana that fucking bombed, and then she build up the kind of like dissension with Ruby Riott again, trying to pair up with them, and then won't they?
There's an interesting point here, which let's address it now. In that, I think it was Matt Hardy was interviewed like yesterday or the day before, and was talking about the creativity and the different work ethics with the two companies and how, and he made the example of Dark Order, and how if this was a WWE thing, it had been axed long ago, but AEW gives these things time. They let them, navigate the waters to find out where it needs to be or where it should be, or react to stuff. And then they go forward with it.
Yeah, that's what Retribution's looking like to be.
Is it, or is it they don't know what to do?
Yeah, well, it's half and half essentially. It's like they're gonna axe it eventually.
I'm personally hoping that the hackers involved, and the hacker was the leader. Because it's a great way of actually somehow fixing that. Oh, actually, it was the hacker was the leader all along. But it's not.
Well, who knows?
It's Triple H. No. It's Triple H with everybody from NXT. It's everybody from NXT. So
yeah, expect the reveal like the month before Survivor Series, and there we go.
It was me, Vince. It was me all along, Vince.
And then we'll have our NXT versus Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series again for 2020.
Either that,
but
is Raw Underground just Shane McMahon's
the fourth promotion
boot camp? Is it his boot camp for the army, for his personal private army? Is he going to roll down there on a jeep or a tank or something to Raw? Is that what he's going to do?
Maybe. Who knows?
Blow up the side of the Thunderdome. This is mine now, damn it. But that's the thing, because they say Dark Order is now they're a featured act on being the elite in terms of they're the ones that people want to see because of Brody doing his bit and the throwing the papers, and that's a fun thing that people are getting involved in. But they're also moved up, and he's got the title now, and they've actually got something to hang their hat on in terms of power and influence and actually troublesome. But yeah, compared to what WWE would have done, they'd be giving it like 3 or 4 weeks, and that would have been it. Anyway, we've got the same situation here, and Iconics are just left. It's sad all around.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the match itself, there was bit of unruly kind of like moments in it. It's like Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott having a little bit of dissension midway match, and then they would fight back. You know, Liv Morgan is like begrudgingly is going. It's like, okay, let's go, tag me in, and then immediately goes to botch a couple of moves for Liv.
Yeah, but it was a situation where, there's a tag team with a bit of dissent, and they may be not on the same page. We don't know. Versus the team that's on the same page and have been together for ages, and they're. I hope that's not a thing that repeats at any point in time during the night. Anyway, Riot Squad win via, I don't know.
Well, it was a pinfall win, but it was like, it's a what finish? Okay, fine, whatever.
And now we've split up the Iconics.
Well, that was
after this.
After yeah.
Congratulations, Billy and Peyton. You've been Vinced.
You've been Vinced.
You've been convinced.
You've been convinced. Split up. Split up and go your separate ways. Have fun.
Fire both of them. What if we would keep one of them? No. Fire both. Keep both of them. I don't mind. Whatever. Where's my Magic 8 Ball? Magic 8 Ball says put the title on Bobby Lashley, which is just as well because we had that. United States Championship match. We had the Hurt Business.
Yeah, that's what they're going as.
The Hurt Business, who subsequently said that they were kind of looking into just going everywhere and taking everything.
Yeah,
all the titles, anywhere, everywhere, which I like because that's like a sort of an Expedition of Gold type thing. Mm-hmm. And nobody does that in WWE, except
the Undisputed Era in NXT.
Oh well, that's just within WWE. They kind of said elsewhere. Outside WWE, and they bought and WWE have bought everywhere else apparently. So, they're helping out. Yeah, they're helping out. All right.
Yeah, sure.
How's your roster doing? Bit thin, is it? I wonder why. Yeah. So Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews. 9 minutes of Apollo Crews not having any friends.
Nope. It's the typical babyface mantra where they're going in alone against a group of heels that will easily take advantage of his single standing, and it's like the baby face is a stupid face.
Biggest stupid faces. more likely. So I quite like the Hurt Business as an entity. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's like they are essentially trying to be like a sort of hodgepodge of like Evolution and like Eminem essentially.
Yeah,
yeah, because they had that little bit at the end where they had like the photo shoot of them celebrating the win.
Like, for the benefit of those with professional flash photography.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you know what? I didn't think I'd enjoy MVP in this role as much as I am. As the figurehead of this, as this sort of the mastermind, he really works.
He can talk.
He's always been able to talk. But
that's why he had.
The frustrating thing. We know Bobby Lashley can talk, but he can talk, just not within WWE. because they give him a script and he's no good with scripts.
Well, that's the thing. It's like,
if you see his TNA Impact stuff, he's a right arsehole.
Yeah,
when he's in heel mode.
So I'm guessing he had way more freedom to speak his mind in TNA and whatnot.
Bit more guidelines, a bit more bullet pointing, I suspect, than it is in the Shakespearean court of King McMahon. Is this a title I see before me? Yes, it is. Good. Make more. Put them in the shop. It was okay. It was again. It was a little bit sloppy. A little bit sloppy on a few moves that were like a bit stumbly, and again we had a couple of things that were like almost fall over. Which seems to be any Bobby Lashley match that like it's not necessarily him. It's always the opponent. Like always almost falls over.
I think
must be all the grease coming off him or something.
Oh come on! It's like Apollo doesn't oil himself that much.
No, I was talking about Lashley. It's Lashley. He's just spreading grease everywhere.
The lunch lady in the back is been greasing them up
old
too
Doris. Did you know Bobby Lashley was Scottish? He's well known. See, I told you the Scots are on a roll. You see. Yeah, it was fine. It was one of those situations where face was dumb, had no friends. It actually reminds me a bit of Sting, bizarrely, in WCW.
Yeah, right. Like Surfer Sting.
Yeah, just getting his ass handed to me. He's such a nice guy. Such a nice guy, and gets on well with everybody in the back. No bugger comes out to help him. And he'll come out to help anybody. But if he's in trouble, oh hell no. I mean, it gets the belt off of Apollo. I like the fact that I much preferred the end of the match than the match.
Yeah.
I liked seeing Apollo, show some. I like the fact that everybody got a little bit at the end. I mean, Shelton's a little bit blank slate at the minute, which is unfortunate. But
I mean, there was a lot of homage, obviously, during this match because as it would be
everywhere.
There was like as advertised or like as Reddit, kind of like reported on. The actor for Black Panther passed away.
Yes, we had some tributes.
Yeah, and of course that was very heavily tributed in this match with both Apollo Crews and the Hurt Business. Just
they both did the Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, and I mean, kudos to them to put on a good match or put on a decent amount of match, but and being honorable for their fallen kin, but still overall it's like it could have been better, it could have been cleaner.
Best bit was Apollo just showing some fire at the end after he'd lost the title and sort of yelling at them and he's going to get it back, and it's like, well, wow, Apollo Crews got to actually emote. Yeah, he fighting back and saying things like, "I'll get my title back. I'll bet." So. Oh yeah, I like the whole idea that the Hurt Business is expanding. I like the bit that Apollo's the first one to stand up, and will Apollo draw more people to his side to more from the mid card, presumably to battle the Hurt Business and take the fight to them? Or
what's Ricochet doing?
What is Ricochet doing? What is Ali doing?
Yeah,
what is
both of them?
Yeah, what is?
Well, we know where Aleister Black is. He's just been a heel now, so or he's been disgrace snake at the moment, just like everyone else. So
well, we've got to get him with Zelina somehow. We've got to get him with his wife somehow.
Yeah, hopefully that will happen sometime.
There was this weird bit where they were like orbiting each other as like, well, we're diametric opposites all the way, but we're not quite intersecting yet, despite the fact that everybody knows we're married.
That's the problem with kayfabe being no longer a thing anymore. So
is what it is. But yeah, I'm curious to see wherever Hurt Business goes next, match was whatever. But then again, it's the US title, so that's kind of the bar. So it's all right, okay. There's a reason it's at the beginning. Right. Next up was a match that was rumored for SummerSlam and then didn't happen because Raw. But this had a retribution as this was a result of retribution because Big E was still Big E. I love the fact, by the way, that Big E is saying whatever the hell he goddamn thinks at the minute about everything. And he doesn't give a damn about what the consequences of the push would be. Yep. He's like saying the right thing and whatever, and he's not like.
He's been there for long enough. I mean, he's had over 5 years of.
11 years, he said, didn't he? 11. He's been. Biggie's been there for a long ass time.
I wouldn't have thought he's been there for the last decade. I know he probably. I know he had. Yeah. He was like in the early days of NXT, of like the current. In terms of NXT,
let's find out.
I know he's
ginormous E.
He's had about 5 years on the main roster.
He's been in 10. He's been at least 7 main roster.
7 main roster. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, in that time.
He was in developmental from 2010 to 2013, so there you go.
Oh, well, there you go.
Biggie Langston.
Yeah. But no, I mean, with that amount of kind of like experience in the company, he's almost, he's a better presented version of Randy Orton, where he can say whatever he likes and he won't get reprimanded.
No one's going to stop him.
Yeah,
but because he's such a good speaker as well. That's the more we get to hear Big E talking about things that aren't New Day stuff, and the more serious Big E, serious passionate Big E.
Oh yeah,
is a joy to listen to.
During the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and the New Day had their kind of like massive podcast talking about the issue and whatnot. You heard it. Heard it. You saw it, especially in the video version, where you saw it in Big E and how passionate he was about this movement and whatnot, and how it affects him personally, and everyone in the group affected them personally. But you really saw it with Big E.
Oh god, yeah. And the last 2 talking smacks we had. Because the first one we had like a bit of a confrontation with the Miz, where the Miz didn't quite get where he was
coming from.
Somebody was white, and I think Miz was trying to say stuff but wasn't saying it correctly, and they knew it. And
it was like TDing on the line there.
Yeah, it was a bit awkward, and neither of them clearly. Well, I say neither of them. But Miz, I don't think Miz actually meant that. And they had a conversation off screen because they're friends. They had a conversation, and it was the whole thing of that. And then of course WWE put them back on the next week because we can make hay with it. And Big E called them out on Talking Smack for putting them back together to try and make more of this than it is. And he called them on it.
Yeah, it's like trying to stir the pot.
Miz let him, and they said, "Hey, no, we've already discussed this, and we've sorted it, and we've fixed it." And and they sort of basically tried to go, well, now you fixed it, maybe you can say it again. They just went, no. Great. Anyway, it was so Big E who's rallying the troops against retribution, which of course Sheamus takes offense to because
he should be doing it.
He should be doing it, although that wasn't quite what they said at the beginning with the commentary. It was more like a Sheamus like poo-pooing the idea of rallying everybody together at all against this army that's beating up everybody and trying to murder referees and stuff. It is. This is another match that just was.
Yeah, sadly. I mean, Big E obviously tried to make it fun and
Oh, God, yeah.
and put some seriousness later on, like later into the match as well.
Yeah.
And he would show dominance and whatnot. But yeah, it's just
A lot
like
of strength
that.
moves, lot of strong moves. Some little bit of miscommunication.
A wee bit.
A little bit of miscommunication. But I as much as I hated him for the rest of the night, I liked what Graves was talking about in terms of, hey, Big E having, we know he's a single, he's done singles and stuff, we know, but he's done tag teams for so long that, when you're in trouble, when you're in really severe trouble, you reach for a tag. What
There's
do
no
you
one there
do
for
when
him.
there's no one there and you're gone past that limit? And that was actually some really good points that he made.
Mm-hmm.
He also got a coat in the face, which is the most enjoyable thing you can get about.
Indeed. Well,
Graves.
it's always guaranteed that he would get a coat in the face every time Big E comes out.
Laser aim. Beaut. I swear, Big E sets up some sort of dummy in that seat when they're setting up as a practice coat. I
was gonna say he is. You should just call him Big E Terminator. Going forward, it's like he's just dead set to hitting the chair that Graves is in every time. It's like he's got that throwing arm.
One of the previous ones is the reason was it didn't reach or because it clipped the front of the table, and I remember seeing that, and I in my head I blamed the table. This is what the coat throw has become. Just like for 5 seconds in a show, Graves is shut up because his mouth is full of cloth. So Sheamus doing his weird Irish Peaky Blinders thing that he's doing. I don't fucking get, but.
I mean, I was hoping, because I chose Sheamus to win this because he was already on quite the losing streak already. Well, at times, like his program with Jeff Hardy obviously was him in a losing effort and whatnot. So I was possibly thinking he would get some sort of a win here, but no. They want to push Big E.
Yeah.
And that makes sense, obviously, because for the SmackDown coming up and whatnot.
He's got number one contenders, doesn't he?
Yeah. So they needed to make sure that he's pushed big in that contenders match coming up. So
at least one of those entrants in that doesn't make any damn sense considering he lost.
Well, actually, two.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what they did to deserve to get a championship, a chance at the championship. But hey, WWE folks. No, I went with Big E because I just simply thought that bearing in mind what Big E had done, that they wouldn't dare derail the push because people would call them on it, and they didn't.
You made the right call.
But afterwards to Graves. Again, the passion. You tell them about, I'm doing this. And Graves is like, But yeah. Big E defeated Sheamus 12 minutes 17 seconds apparently, according to Cage Match.
Wow, it's like that was.
And I will say it didn't feel that.
No, it didn't.
It didn't feel that. So a good 3 minutes longer than the Lashley Cruz match, which did feel all of 9 minutes.
That did feel. That one definitely did feel longer.
That you could have. I think you could have chopped off a minute of that, made it a bit more crisp, and you'd have had a better product at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Big E Sheamus, that's great. That's great. That's good for Big E as well. You can do longer matches. They don't feel long. Also, Big E's leg. For somebody who is such a big build, although he's said he's obviously lost weight, please do not bend his leg in that way again.
Well, granted,
I was just genuinely appalled. Actually,
well, he's still doing those dives to the outside. This time he's not diving like out between the ropes and onto the person outside and whatnot. No, they're on the apron and he's doing like a spear doing it, but still, it's still the same
It still
kind
feels...
of motion. It's like
you just think Daniel Bryan whenever that happens, and Big E's got such momentum behind him. He's a fast lad.
Yeah.
He's a fast lad. Lot of bulk, lot of speed. There's a fucking railing there. I don't care if it's got crappy padding on it. That's pretty solid. It'll move as much as a foot, as we saw during this pay-per-view, because some of those got moved quite far when they got hit. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's going to stop you unless it's the gimmicked one in the corner. You know, just drag your opponent round till you get to the action, the action zone. Where does Sheamus go from here?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't feel like he's gonna get any sniff it at the title scene anytime soon because he's still a heel.
He shouldn't.
Right. The best you could. I feel as though he's gonna just go right back to Jeff Hardy and just ballot for the IC title again. Probably be the case.
If they need to tread water for a month with the IC title, while they wait to get all the pieces back on the board for that, I guess that works out. As long as he doesn't go back to the bar. Loved the bar. Love even more Cesaro getting to do his own bloody thing.
He's tag team champion, although he's tag team with Nakamura, and both SummerSlam and Payback SmackDown titles were never on the line.
It's fine. They don't exist. They don't exist, Turbo. It's fine.
Really?
Speaking of things that shouldn't exist, Matt Riddle and King Corbin.
Okay.
Another one that was rumoured for SummerSlam and didn't happen, and SummerSlam was better for it. Yeah. I was cheering Corbin the whole way through. I don't like Matt Riddle.
You don't like Matt Riddle? Well...
Bro.
Hey, you might not like his attitude, but his...
No, I don't.
You know,
he can kick. All right.
Yeah, he can kick. Yeah, and
he can kick, and he can fling off some flip flops.
He can do more, obviously.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I wasn't interested in the match up until him doing the flip flop fling, and Corbin just walloping him in.
Of course, that would
knocking
get
his head off.
Yeah.
What did you think of this one?
I mean, I thought it was all right. It's like I thought, what was it? Riddle put on a decent show with Corbin and whatnot. You know, I mean, Corbin got to do his regular spiel of signature moves and stuff like that, and signature maneuvers.
Beautiful deep six.
Yeah, deep six is always
beautiful. That one in particular was beautiful.
French kiss. Yeah, I mean, it's like I really didn't have that much of a problem with Riddle. I'm surprised you're having problems with Riddle.
I just don't like him. I don't care. If he's on TV or on...
He's unique. He reminds... Well, it's like, what was it? When Rusev first came in, he was not wearing boots. But he had that incident where he slipped on the padding outside when it was wet. And afterwards, he was forced to wear boots afterwards. Riddle, on the other hand, was like, he has like a back. There is reasoning for his shoeless kind of like performance, and I think it works out better for him. I
have no issue with the shoes.
Yeah,
the shoelessness.
He's proper MMA as well in my eyes, how I've seen him. Although granted, I've seen more of his progress in NXT than in the main roster currently. So, that's that's where I'm kind of like gauging his performance off of, rather than his main roster malarkey. So.
Yeah, it's.
But I can understand that you don't like him, and you didn't like this match too much.
He's just. I find him very bland, which I know is not going to be a common thing for people. I don't know. It's just...
You should. You see, he was taken away from the Broserweights storyline way too soon after lockdown and whatnot, or during lockdown and whatnot. That kind of like hindered Riddle a lot. Because he was doing great.
That's who he is. Rob Van Bland. That's exactly who he is. No, he can kick. He can do a good kick. Having, you know, bro as the prefix or suffix of every single fucking move is
okay. That can be a bit overkill for some people. I can understand.
Absolute overkill. Also, the floating bro is the fucking stupidest name I've ever heard for a finisher.
Well, I was gonna say it would have been called the Swanton Bro, or Swan Bro.
No, he did that. He did that.
All right.
When it was just like a seated, is it like a senton, or like a seated senton he just did or something, or just a basic one, and they called it that. Everything.
I mean, you know, what am I going to say? Because that's what his gimmicks is. It's like he just implements his bro into things. I mean, I've never really been pissed off at the term bro. I've been pissed off at the term Jim Bob, because, you know, it's like trying to get that fucking thing over. And it's like the Jim Bob bro. And it's like, you know, it's like. The Jim Bob Stunner, or Jim Bob Pile Driver, the Pile Jim, whatever.
Stop.
I don't know where I'm going.
Give up.
I don't know where I'm going.
Give up.
But still, it's like, you know, I'm just
the match. The match was passable. I just had no interest in it.
Fair enough.
Was there anything that stood out for it?
I mean, granted, no, not from the like a major standpoint. I wasn't like, oh yeah, this is awesome and whatnot. I was like, it was it was a decent match, and of course, you know, Corbin was doing fine. He was being a dick, and that was good. That was good of him, of being a proper heel, of actually jumping the guy, because I was appreciating
his heel. I was appreciating his heel work a lot in this match as well.
Yeah, because I was saying that in SummerSlam, where when you had blood feuds going on and whatnot, no one were attacking Vic. But no, Corbin being an evil heel, proper evil heel, attacking someone as they're making their entrance. Boom! There you go. He's got better character than most of the people that were having blood feuds the week prior. So
speaking of really heel moves, by the way, what were you doing on Cultaholic?
What are you talking about?
Oh, we've got the clip. Run it.
Oh, geez,
why aren't you singing it, John?
Well, you know.
I'll start you off.
You put me on the spot now.
I'll start you off. Sonic Heroes.
All right. Sonic Hero.
That is a note and a half, my friend. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So, Mr. John Turbo Finley, what's this about you appearing on Cultaholic and singing Sonic Heroes? What's this? What's happening here?
I don't know. Well, you know, well.
Look, you're under contract.
Okay. So you got me. I was just, you know, I'm a big fan of Tom Campbell. He's like, you know, he has a show. I just thought, you know, just give him a phone in, see, you know, I might not even get, you know, answered while phoning in. It's like, it might not happen. And luckily to me, I did pick up, and I started singing. there.
The ghost of Jack Tunney is in my ear again, and is saying saying that you might be stripped of the
You
belt.
can't take this away from me! Not that way!
No, you've only got one predictions belt. You stay away from theirs.
Oh, no, of course not.
You'll only have to eat wasabi or something, or take a whole bunch of kendo stick shots.
or eat a tarantula.
Oh yeah, God knows. But yeah, so yeah, that was a thing. So
Speaking of another thing,
speaking of things, so we've got the irresistible force of putting people on a shelf inadvertently, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler playing the role of the one that Vince doesn't get this particular month. Versus Bayley and Sasha for the women's tag team titles, because they've got to defend them eventually. Which is actually that's not fair, because they had been they defended them more than the women's title probably has been prior to them.
But I hear the ever cries of one voluptuous spy yet again, not happy with this.
Also,
result.
that poor little girl somewhere.
Oh yes, she's still
I don't know if you got a chance to go back and see that, but
No,
I was specifically looking in the crowd to see if she was there. She was not, as far as I'm aware.
Although find that if she was watching this again, she would probably be going, "No, not again! Why?
It's like the
no
worst
title!"
fortnight in this poor young girl's life.
Oh yeah, it's like 2 straight weeks. It's like absolute hell for her.
2 straight weeks, and now it's only Bayley's belt left. But
yeah,
this was. I liked that. What I liked about this was specifically that they didn't go the route of, well, Bayley and Sasha are upset with each other and are losing miscommunication, dissension. No, they showed up and they were doing nice tag team stuff and proper, what have you,
proper work and whatnot. Yeah. But no, it would eventually boil down to Shayna Baszler being a badass. That's what I was kind of like expecting to happen, and wouldn't you know it, that was going to be the case. But we got some dimension with Baszler and Jax during the match, where they were kind of like looking at each other and it's like, oh, you know what? We could make this work. We could get this done. Yeah,
so
we could become champions.
Vocalizing that, hey, we could do this.
Yeah.
And getting a bit of respect for each other's abilities as it went on.
Yeah.
But not at the expense of, golden role models as a unit that does stuff. There was lots of instances where because it's always the way, isn't it? When we've got the thrown together tag team versus the experienced tag team, the thrown together tag team will win because, and for some reason they'll work better than the experienced tag team, just because tag team booking, not 101, probably is like sort of 106.
101 subsection appendix. Yeah, well, 101 subsection A.
Yeah, subsection A, paragraph 2, in the fine print at the bottom. Get a magnifying glass, you'll see it. But they didn't do that. They won, as you say, through badassery, basically.
Yeah.
What? I don't even know how to describe what happened in that finish, but it was bloody original.
It was original. I mean, granted, we've had like in triple threat situations where one person would be able to kind of like submit or be in the middle, submitting someone else, and then somehow grabbing the other one in a submission of some kind. I think Asuka might have had something like that in a triple threat.
Asuka's done something. We've had Natty doing the double sharpshooter, of course.
Yeah.
It happens, but it doesn't happen that's the finish.
Yeah.
And more of it doesn't, how does that work also with a referee and breaking breaking stuff? Because the referees should technically break the hold of the person that's not
weird.
legal, and then if you're using the arm of
Of
one
the
opponent
partner.
to choke out the other, which by the way was super clever. And again, it puts the emphasis actually in storyline wise. It's super smart because you then put the emphasis on Bailey's the one who's tapped out and cost
The titles, yeah.
and cost Sasha her other belt.
Mm-hmm.
To which point there's already been Twitter rumblings. I didn't tap out. Yes, but you also weren't being choked to death. This match did a awful lot.
Indeed. Yeah.
In terms of characterization for all four, story for all four, and elevated the belts, which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah, it needed it because there wasn't really much going for it for them, the titles.
It was one of those situations where they'd kind of booked themselves into a corner with stuff, and it ended up with kind of no challenges to the belts.
Mm-hmm.
And Bailey and Sasha couldn't do anything else, so it makes sense for them then to rechase the belts in the event of they're actually going to do that. But they do, but since they consider the belts theirs, it's going to be a thing. I hope that we see. I doubt it, but I can hope.
Also we see Nia Jax being the most excitable little girl, it's excitable little big girl at the end there.
She's.
I was hearkening back to Team Hell No, where Kane just out of nowhere is like being celebratory with the
like
title,
really emotional,
the title win.
Really emotional.
Like,
Kane.
Like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go to Disney. The typical kind of thing.
Well, I was reminded of when she won the title and she was just a blubbering mess.
Oh yeah,
remember that because that really did mean something. And but yeah, so I'm curious as to where they're going to go with the tag team belts.
I mean,
it gives Nia and Shayna something to do.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that Shayna would probably be the most dominant out of the team, and she'll be like properly going like, look, I'm doing the job here.
You've got somebody who's power and somebody who's a technician, which for tag teams works really well, as we know. Because then you open the door to everything. It's one of the reasons the New Day is so good, because you've got somebody who's this acrobatic high flyer, somebody who's an absolute powerhouse, and then somebody who's very creative in the middle of the two. And also cannot be destroyed, as we know. You cannot destroy Xavier Woods. He's the most durable thing in existence, apart from his Achilles. But the rest of it, you can torture him to death with a Singapore cane. He'll come back the next day stronger and covered in adamantium or something.
Forgot about that.
It's just... yeah, so our second title change.
Yeah. What? I'm seeing a pattern here.
Well, I did say, didn't I, in the last one, that SummerSlam, that they were taking SummerSlam as well. We're taking it as a reset, and we're getting things in order for where we're going to go from here on forward. And this is what we got. And one of those things that's going to be from here on forward is Keith Lee is being sent to the moon.
Bask in his glory. Or he is squashing Randy Orton in a number of minutes.
Yep. 6 minutes 40, says my friends here at Cage Match.
Very generous 6 minutes.
A very generous 6 minutes 40.
Yeah.
Cleans the sheet, middle of the ring. Bang.
Yeah. Brilliant spirit bomb.
Yeah, that was a beaut. That was an absolute beaut. But bask in his glory. They're changing it on a weekly basis at the minute.
Yeah. That WCFO dollar sign.
That's screwing up everything and everyone from NXT.
Everybody's
Everyone.
entrance music. Well, it's not their fault. It's their label's fault. Because they're asking more royalties for
buy
their
it
work.
and roll it into Stephanie Music.
Man.
Does that still exist? I bet it does.
If it does, then
I know
it's
it's
very...
WWE Music, but I'm pretty certain that Stephanie Music's still a thing. Is it a thing?
Let us check.
Let's check.
But while you checking, I can talk about
You
the
talk
match.
about that. I've got to find about this very important stuff about Stephanie Music.
Oh yeah, the match itself was really good showing because this was obviously a rematch from Raw prior, and because that ended in a DQ, so we got this again. And I mean, Lee, even though with his different attire and different music and whatnot, he is still Keith Lee, and he will bring it in the ring, and he did. He gave it proper. Like both Randy Orton and himself were like going through the regular things, like Orton trying to weaken on Keith Lee with table spots and whatnot, dropping them on the table. But Keith Lee would bring it back in and multiply it, and it was just leading to that finish of that power bomb. Oh, mwah. Keith Lee, you are amazing. But I mean, can't really say much more. It's like, I liked how Randy Orton was like completely surprised by the whole fact, and he's like, I'm the veteran. What? I'm the best wrestler in the... No! This new guy just beat me! What?
Somebody Randy Orton, and it's interesting situation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they do anymore.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
I guess Stephanie Music Publishing Limited is what it actually was. As of 2016, they were still sort of doing stuff, and I don't think they are anymore.
Yeah, weird.
I think it's just under WWE Music or whatever. WWE Music Group.
So it got absorbed into WWE Music, so I would think
so.
It usually tends to be the case if they're if the label's just not working and whatnot, they just absorb it into the brother.
Pour one out, everybody, for Stephanie Music. It revolutionised the music business. Music didn't exist before them. It's mighty good. We have albums and radio stations and everything now thanks to them. It's quite something.
Yeah.
So yes, Keith Lee, if you haven't heard, he's winning the Rumble. Probably. But yeah, everyone's super high on him, and he's being rocket in terms of a push. In fact, Vince apparently told Orton to make him a star, basically, in that match.
Wait, someone's ordering Vince McMahon?
No, Vince told Orton. Vince told Orton to make him a star.
Right. Okay.
Trips hasn't got that power yet. There's
yet. Keyword.
The keyword is indeed yet. I've got to admit, it didn't make him a star, but it made him look very good. Very good indeed.
Made him look very good. Made him look dominant, going over a veteran. But I wouldn't say a star. It's Randy Orton.
Exactly. You put him on the map, but he's not made him, somebody. You take notice of him, but he's not, ooh. Yeah. I'll tell you what he did do, and this actually allows me to correct something from the previous show, because I said that I was watching WWE Timeline, I believe, and I was actually watching WWE Untold for the various programs, and it harkens back again to the Triple H Mankind when he came out as Cactus, or he came out as Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
And Triple H selling it like it was death.
Yeah.
In terms of the sheer disbelief of no, this can't be happening. And Orton had a very similar thing, I thought. In terms of this utter disbelief, like as you say, how could this happen? How could it happen to me? I'm Randall Keith Orton, damn it. Mm-hmm. Whose arse do I have to punt over here to try and get some damn respect? I'll go and kick Drew McIntyre in the head once again. I haven't done it in minutes.
Oh dear.
Yeah, be interesting to see what they do. They need to make a decision on. They need to let him be him. And you.
This is Keith Lee we're talking about.
Yeah, Keith Lee. Needs to be. Oh yeah. There's no hope in letting Orton be anything else but himself. Yeah. Bloody hell! I mean, try giving him some kind of direction other than be an arsehole, be yourself. It's. They need to let Keith Lee be Keith Lee, and they need to get what was on the
NXT.
page on NXT on the WWE page with whatever the change, with the tweaks and change they need to do, because this one never. And I just worry, as I suspect everyone does, that those tweaks become bigger tweaks, and bigger tweaks, and then you lose what makes Keith Lee so bloody awesome.
I do fear that.
It's almost as if this keeps happening to NXT people for some reason. I can't. There surely can't be any evidence. Incidentally, by the way, the WWE Network is a thing, and it's available for $9.99 or other price ranges wherever you are. Just saying. Right. Next up. Oh, it's a breakfast double. The Mysterios are back. The Mysterios are back. One minus a hood, and bloody hell was that a good decision.
Did he lose the hood?
Yeah, he lost the hood. He didn't come out with the hood on.
He had the same vest
same
on.
gear, but they aced
Just
the,
cut
hood.
off the head.
Like we said, because it was just getting in the way for him. So
Yeah. Makes sense.
Against the disciple Murphy getting to do stuff in this match. Thank Christ.
Yeah. Well, it was a tag match after all. So.
Yep, and Neo Jesus, as I christened him last time, Neo Jesus, which apparently, as we found out, was apparently Brie Bella came up with the idea.
Oh,
of all people.
Was that in?
It was in the day of 2015 that they launched recently. But Seth actually said about it in an interview. He was like, "Oh, actually, technically, the Monday, she kind of came up with the idea," which. I mean,
thanks, Brie. Thanks.
I mean, she basically just went, "Well, you look a bit like Jesus," and Seth went, "Well, yeah, I do," and that was kind of it.
The hair. Is it the hair, guys?
You mean this man with the dark, long hair and the beard looks a bit like you don't say.
No.
You don't. Anyway, but yes, Neo Jesus and Murphy versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic Guerrero. I mean Mysterio, and it was right.
It was all right.
It was all right.
They did. They worked well.
They worked well. Do we have a storyline here? Could we have? I mean, well, I say do we have a story? I was going to say do we have a storyline because can we have father and son go for the tag team titles? But then Ray hurt his arm.
Yeah.
Right at the end of a completely unnecessary move. But you could tell he hurt his arm immediately. But I don't know. I like this. Dominic looked in better shape than even the week before. I reckon.
That's surprising. Being that was only just 7 days ago.
Yeah.
So.
But in terms of actually just looking at him, I thought he looked in better shape. I think he's getting more and more now. He's getting more and more ring time. That's helping, and I think he's might have been told, a bit more of watching what you eat and stuff, and a bit more proper. Now he's entrenched.
Yeah,
he's got the proper dieting and everything
thing.
else that goes with it in terms of the WWE support stuff.
Yeah.
He looked sharper. He looked a little bit more like he belonged. He's still got a little bit of deer in the headlights stuff when he comes out.
Yeah, wee bit.
Which I think that's more like surprise, because he came out with his dad and he sort of turned to his dad like, oh.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mixture of stage fright and starstruck, kind of like mentality to it.
But then he gets,
because I would have been the same if I was in that situation.
But then he gets like halfway down the ramp and he's absolutely fine, and then he's in the zone in character.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. That's the whole chemistry of ring work, is to be in the zone when you're in between the ropes.
It's interesting that we're getting all this stuff done out now, and he kind of had a crowd, obviously. But I think I'd be interested to see how he reacts when
to a live crowd.
Because there's the whole thing of actually learning to work a live crowd. Which is obviously, as we know, an intrinsic part of being a wrestler. You've got to play to your role, be it face or heel, and you've got to bring the audience along with you. Otherwise, you get boring. Otherwise, you get big show ECW main events. And who was he against?
Sorry.
Was it Batista he was against or somebody?
Yes, it was. It was at the Hammerstein Ballroom as well. So it's like home ground.
Oh, change the channel. When your loyal hardcore audience that needs the programs is begging the channel to be changed. Again, we had some from Dominic's point of view. I mean, Ray's Ray. Dominic's point of view, we had some more lucha.
Yep.
In there, some flashes of promise in terms of what he can do. Again, in terms of somebody with his build and somebody with his height, and a bunch of stuff that we weren't expecting. So that's good. It's always nice to be surprised every single time you've got somebody going in a match.
Yeah.
What did you think about his performance? Because ultimately, this whole thing is about Dominic one way or the other. So,
it is about Dominic. He definitely worked better with his dad being there in the actual match than he was in his singles match. I'll say that much.
Yeah, well, because you've got a bit more guidance in terms of what to do.
Yeah,
actually,
and
you say that you've been working with. There was some specific, tandem offense. That was,
Yeah, it works well, and it also works on a storyline part as well, where Dominic was isn't experienced enough to take on a WWE wrestler that has like over 5 years of experience in the ring, compared to his outside, even though with his outside experience outside of WWE and whatnot, it just doesn't compare. But when you got your dad there in the ring, partnering with him, who has more experience than anyone in that ring, then yeah, it works out story-wise that they would work in tandem and work together with that, family bond. In terms of like him being confident in the ring, yeah, that his dad is a factor in that, of having that confidence to perform better, and he performed better. I feel, I felt he did perform better.
As I said, we also had Murphy doing. Seth was doing Seth stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was lovely to see Murphy get a proper chance to really shine here, and obviously the finish was obviously he was involved in. That's going to further his storyline one way or the other. but it was nice to see him, get a bunch of offense in, show what he can do, show his athletic ability, some of his technical skill. We mentioned him earlier. He did the RVD bloody DDT cell.
Mm.
The
proper
the proper proper spike yourself.
Yeah.
One. Loving those tornado DDTs that Dominic does, by the way. But he came off very well, I think, in this, and a lot better than he has done in a ring any time since this whole Disciple thing has come along, because he's always been an outside influence, and the couple of times he's been in, he's kind of more played a bit part, and this was, I think, more of an equal role for whatever reason. I don't think if Rollins was the biggest voice in the match from his side, but in terms of actual workload, I think it was kind of even, which was sort of interesting in a way.
Yeah.
Actually, nice little bit of development from Ray as well. At the beginning, with the first of all, them having a plan and completely screwing over the heels.
Just like going.
Yeah, just because it's just straight in there and smash him.
Yeah.
Also,
again, that whole thing that I was kind of like missing from SummerSlam is that having that blood feud feel where it's like just go F it, just go for it. Get the match started.
Exactly what we were saying last week on LMKO with everything that was going on. But yeah, loved Ray just being like, "Get the hell in here, you bastard!"
Yeah, I want to kill you.
Really angry Ray.
Yeah,
is nice.
Well, that's the passion.
Yeah,
he wants
get that
family brings the passion out of
get
anyone.
That Latin blood pumping a bit. Show us Latino heat. And you just go straight for violence, basically. Get in the ring now. I demand you. Okay, then what you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna frickin' punch your face in.
Aye.
Oh, good. So the Mysterios get their win.
Yep. Which
of course,
obvious.
Murphy takes the L, much to Seth's outrage.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because a couple of reasons. It makes sense in that it's keeps Seth strong. Seth's not taking a loss.
Yeah.
Not that losses make you weak in wrestling if you book it bloody properly. But it furthers the storyline, and it's sort of again furthering the sort of religious overture of all of this, obviously, in that your
Murphy
one
is the
true disciple has failed you. He's failed him, and what's he gonna do? He's gonna go it alone, or he's gonna get somebody else in. He's gonna get 12 apostles. Maybe that's what Retribution is. The 12 apostles of Seth Rollins. Because as we all know, if there's a mysterious invasion from somewhere or the other, in a van somewhere is Seth Rollins.
Indeed, I totally forgot about that with the Authors of Pain when they did that. It was just
that's
Seth coming.
You forgot about the Authors of Pain because the Authors of Pain. Hey, remember when Ellering was their manager and they're really bloody good?
I remember.
Remember who's got load of those like senior wrestlers in managerial positions at the minute? You know what company that is? Oh wait, it's the other one.
It's
bringing character and a bit more seriousness to stuff.
Well, bringing legacy and bringing up the new generation.
Although, by the way, Tully versus Arn versus Taz going on. Versus Jake. You've got a fatal four-way of heel managers, or three heel managers and Arn, who might well turn heel, all vying for all vying for clawing and scratching away from their guy. That's going to be interesting. Right. So the Mysterio versus Murphy and Seth Rollins was the longest match on the card by far. It went just shy of 16 minutes. And it could have probably been a little bit shorter.
I can probably think that could have been something. Could have been 15 minutes, under 15.
Yeah,
at least.
there was about 90 seconds of some real filler. Some real filler stuff going on. But I don't know. Might have been the match of the night for me. Difficult to say.
Well, for me, the match of the night for me was Keith Lee versus Orton at that time. So,
in terms of impact for everything going forward, yes, certainly.
Yeah,
certainly. Right. Now the worst match of the night. Right. Do you perchance remember, going back into the time machine again, do you perchance remember a certain match, a certain triple threat match we had a while ago between a man of three H's, a gentleman draped in the American flag who liked milk, and then there was the face, which I believe was a man by the name of The Rock. And then we had a thing where the two heels battled it out before the face got in because they're really angry with each other. And then they went over to the announce desk. I mean, there was a bit of an accident, but things happen, and the ringside area was kind of destroyed, and then eventually the face came down. Do you remember this? The face came down and eventually joined the battle.
Was this in 2002?
Might well have been. It's
it wasn't
in
2000.
terms of the match. It's the famous one where Angle gets knocked silly with the table spot. But the point is, this is exactly the same start as this match with the two heels. And I'm sorry,
it's not
the
original,
Fiend's
obviously.
a fucking heel. Okay.
Yeah.
But
trust me, when I saw this, yes, he is a heel. He has Heyman.
But yeah,
Come on.
No. So that's the thing. So the Fiend's a heel. Strowman's a heel.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is now a heel.
So it's three heels.
We didn't have a heel versus heel. We had a heel versus heel versus heel. I can't remember any time ever in wrestling.
It's a Blue Moon situation essentially, where we had a triple threat heel match. It's like,
what the actual fuck? And
well, first off, let's go back to the start.
Yeah,
of the
let's go
match,
back to the start. So we got
where we had the Fiend make his entrance.
The Fiend
first.
comes out first. And he's the fucking champion.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I hate that.
Yeah, and Strowman does the run-in on the Fiend,
Which
to get the
actually
drop on him.
worked, I thought.
Yeah.
You took the Fiend by surprise. It was something we weren't expecting. And of course, it's because of the ThunderDome, it's more easy to hide that all because you don't get the crowd reaction, so it's more of a surprise.
Yeah. And then you got the match officially started right then and there. Now of course it
did.
Yeah, it's a what was it? No DQ or false count?
Okay, so it was. Again, bearing in mind, well, we had SummerSlam with the free no DQs, basically, didn't we? This was no holds barred triple threat, as opposed to a normal triple threat where there's no holds barred, because it's triple threat. There's no DQs in triple threat, as we know.
Yeah, there's no DQs. Yeah, right. So
there's no DQs. So it's a no DQ, no DQ match.
gotta have to doubly make sure that
We
is the
got to
case.
double down on that no DQ.
Gotta double down on that stipulation, boy.
It's a
So, yeah.
DDQ.
DDQ.
No DDQ.
Not a DDTQ.
Sadly not.
No. But yeah, so the match starts without Roman in the thing. And of course, the whole thing going into this, because this was obviously teased throughout the night, is has Roman signed the contract for the match? Is he going to be in it? What are they doing? Oh, he's disgruntled by the contract. He wants to have his lawyer have a look at the contract before he signs it. Then it's match time. The match is on. And it's like, what? This is like Brock Lesnar entering into the Money in the Bank ladder match and grabbing the briefcase and becoming Money in the Bank, Mr. Money in the Bank all over again. And it's like, context, please.
Also, obviously, is he going to do it? Yeah. Is he going to? Yeah, he is. Mainly because he said he did. He said he was going to on SmackDown. Will I be there? Yes, I will. Will I win the title? Yes, I will. Will I be there? Yes. Here's the.
That's not a prediction.
It's a spoiler.
That's a spoiler. Yeah.
And I like the idea that we're actually going to get Heyman's tight with the family, so he's going to have that, and we're going to end up with.
I'm surprised he's still. I'm still surprised he's even wanting to still work with the company after all this time.
Yeah, that's
maybe,
the thing.
or maybe he just didn't like the role he was in for so long. Like I can understand he was so he could have been so stressed.
As long as he gets to work with specific talent how long. I don't know if it's going to turn into like a new Samoan SWAT team thing. I'm assuming the Usos. The Usos have got to come back. And you can bet your ass they're going to team up.
Just call them the family. Just be unoriginal.
The Heyman family.
Well, Grant, here's the thing. Has he just called him? Has he called himself the advocate for Roman Reigns yet?
Stupid guy with the hair does the radio show. Really thin guy, big.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Sam Thingamajig.
Sam Roberts.
Sam Roberts.
Yeah.
He on the WWE bump was talking about how Heyman was a manager and something, and Heyman basically called him a schmuck on Twitter, and they said you can call me a manager when you can't start calling WWE superstars pro wrestlers. Which was it's like, yeah, you had to sort of a bit of the old bite of the lip there. Of he's an advocate. He's an advocate. So Roman Reigns is an advocate.
Yeah. So
until the time Brock Lesnar turns up again, and
so you can't really call it the Heyman family, because that was like that was
Dangerous Alliance 2.0. I'm with Dangerous Alliance.
Well, he's not even called Paulie Dangerously, but hey, whatever. But
doesn't matter. Everyone knows.
Whatever kind of a group name they have for them and whatnot. It's like it can be a factor. I mean, he could just go out on his own and just be the dominant heel that he was supposed to be like so many years ago to try to get himself back over with the crowd.
But this is a really dumb decision for this.
Well, I mean, granted, yeah, you could probably say.
Is he supposed to be a heel because he went away so he didn't get sick?
No, he's been a heel because he was robbed of his opportunity because of what's been happening. And he's desperate
to get the belt back because not only is he not, and he's willing to do anything to get it, right?
Yeah.
Do anything to get it. So not only is he ripped off bloody Stone Cold's shirt, he's ripped off when Stone Cold went heel as well.
Yeah.
This is so unoriginal at the minute.
Well,
the only good thing is bloody Heyman.
That's the problem in WWE. That's been a problem for the last 5-10 years. It's like there's not an original bone in the company's body anymore. Also,
that means Heyman's playing the role of Vince McMahon in this whole thing, and that's bloody weird in itself. That is weird.
Were you wanting it to be Shane?
Yes. Yes, more Shane. More Shane. More Shane. Shane's taking over everything. Shane's having your belt. He's on guest host next time round.
I hope not.
He's gonna come on here and he's gonna have arms full of NXT championships. He's gonna raid the warehouse. It's right next to Raw Underground, didn't you know? It's gonna be there. So, but this honestly, though, in terms of the match, I don't want to see Fiend Strowman. Fiend Strowman is dire.
I can understand that, but at least it wasn't as bad as the last one. Like, the one at SummerSlam was worse than the one at Payback.
Oh, God. Oh, yes.
This was obviously about a lot better. It was
still lame.
But it's still, but it was still lame. They did the collapse ring spot.
The collapse ring spot. You know, Big Show's turning in his bed, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a crap version of that. You know, it made sense when bloody...
Well, who was it? Charles Robinson was the referee at the time, wasn't
he? Yeah, Charles Robinson having to sort of like, you know, having to Royal Rumble eliminate himself over the back rope. It's like, wait, the ropes are too high. Oh, bless him.
Come on, you gotta love Charles Robinson.
Charles Robinson, got lots of
Little Nate.
He tweeted a picture of himself a little while back. I don't know if you saw it. But if it was him, it was like a throwback Thursday or something. Of him in his like 20s, looking like he was about to join New Kids on the Block.
With the frosted tips
no,
and
he just like, you know, proper American teen mag type pick. It is really freaking weird. And it's like, at the same time, it's like, yeah, he's not really changed the way he looks that much. But at the same time, it's like, what the hell is Charles Robinson doing posting this picture right now? But yeah, it was dire. Then we had of the 12 minutes 41 seconds of this match, I think we had like 9 minutes of a single
filler
match.
Yeah.
A minute of Reigns coming down and then hitting like 2 moves.
Well, he had a chair in hand, so he was like just going all...
and then he won the belt. And then woo, because he's a heel now.
Yay.
But I don't get this whole mentality thing though. Because
at the moment, we have nothing to work with. Because we won't know until like.
But this is the thing. It's like, okay, so Roman Reigns went away and he had to go away, and yes, I understand it, but he went away for his health.
And his family.
He went away for the health of him and his family, and so he didn't die because he's got reduced, you know,
immune system. That, yeah.
This is not a heel act. It's like Roman Reigns wasn't going to get a fucking title shot a second.
Well, you had Kevin Owens being the heel when he was being NXT champion and saying that, it pays more to be the champion. I need to provide for my family and whatnot. And you can be a heel and be, a sympathetic heel, knowing where they're doing, why they're doing it.
Pure WWE that they choose this as the catalyst to make him a heel.
It's just per timing.
He
obviously.
was, yeah. And then
if he was still here,
the moment when he beat Taker, and the crowd was ready to just rip the place apart.
And that would have been the perfect time. No, but they go with it.
It's WWE as usual. You know, looking at a situation and then 5 years later, going, hey, remember that situation? Let's do that now.
If fighting game players have a problem with latency with their fighting games,
oh god, this is storylines of latency. That's that is brilliant.
Yeah, WWE's latency in their storylines is astronomically time bending, ridiculous. You know,
maybe this move from Titan Tower will help. Because they're going to get a new internet setup.
Yeah, get
It's going to
themselves-
help with latency.
I hope so.
WWE storyline latency is definitely a thing that needs to be investigated. Is that it? Is Vince still on dial-up?
He probably is.
Is this-
Well, seeing that he's so backlogged with pop culture and stuff like that, I think he is. I think he's still stuck on dial-up.
I know we're being facetious here, and I know, but in my head, have you ever seen the film War Games?
I've seen clips of it. Yeah.
All right, so that's great in terms of it showing how dialing onto the net as was, where we've got the freaking phone that you put in the cradle.
Yeah.
The actual cradle, and turn things on. In my mind, Vince's office, even though it's not like that at all, we've seen it many times. It's like that. The mental image of it is that it's that far behind in terms of Vince, in terms of what he's doing now.
Now you see, that's his real estate. In there, that's how it's.
There's a bank. There's a
planogram.
computer, but it's a bank of. It's like a wall.
Yeah.
It's taking punch cards.
Yeah.
And
that's his.
And Heyman's walking in there with a Raspberry Pi powered satellite system. Did you hear Sputnik's just been sent up? In McMahon-verse, Sputnik's just gone up.
So what if that dog? Vince's dog.
Didn't you hear he's getting the 24/7 title next week? They're gonna send it up in there. That's next one. Next one. There's gonna be a title change in space with Elon Musk. Okay. Super prediction time. Within the next 10 years, we will get a title change in space in 0G. All right.
That will be the 24/7 championship. I'll tell you that much.
No.
Don't expect the universal title to be changed up there. Even though that would be perfect marketing.
Perfect.
It's like, universal title in space. Brilliant. It would work. No, it won't.
It's gonna happen.
No, it won't.
If it does, we're still doing this in 10 years. When I'm pushing 50.
We'll be sporadically doing this, possibly, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, who knows? Oh. Do you remember 10 years ago when Roman Reigns turned heel? That makes no sense. Well, his son's here now, and he's done the exact same thing.
But on the space colony Maroon. I can't believe the title change happened in 0G combat.
Do you remember when they banished Shane McMahon to that other dimension they found?
I think we've done. I think we've gone.
We've gone too far. Anything left? But Roman Reigns won. There you go. That's dead.
Yeah.
Scores on the old doors. I'm interested to hear your score because it was bad.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't give it any higher than a 5 because I'd be going crazy if I did. So I have to go lower and have to give it a 3. Overall, it's like I liked the Keith Lee Randy Orton match. I loved how Keith Lee got a good strong opening, and I liked Shayna Baszler being dominant in that tag match. But the rest of the card, I just did not really. I mean, there was good moments overall, but really they were just fleeting moments. They were not major things that got me go, right, this is a great pay-per-view, this is awesome. But it was like, but like you said, it was like part 2 of SummerSlam, but some of the matches are replays from SummerSlam. There wasn't like a new set of card matches, so yeah, 3 out of 10.
In deference to me enjoying Big E being Big E, the women's title match, which was the best match on the card for me, at least. Keith Lee being treated like, well,
A glorious bastard.
A glorious bastard. And the universe title match was so goddamn bad. Yeah, it's a 4.
Oh, you're going a little higher. Okay.
A little higher, not much. Again, exactly as you said, for a 3-hour pay-per-view, there was a lot of very specific moments. And there's highlights, and then there's highlights which are, a handful of moments which are head and shoulders above everything else.
Actually, no, your 4 makes more sense because you had the Mysterios as well. So yeah.
So sort of between those, they gain 1. Lashley Cruz was fine.
Yeah,
but
it's just no.
But it was fine, but sloppy. Big E defeating Sheamus was, it was a Raw match or a SmackDown match.
Oh, SmackDown, yeah.
In this instance, Riddle Corbin did nothing. Women's match was good. Keith Lee Orton was all right, but by its own high standard, didn't achieve what it actually really set out to achieve. And they're still fucking around with Keith Lee, and they need to make a decision. And when we get Keith Lee being Keith Lee fully, if we had Keith Lee being Keith Lee fully, then I don't think people would have been as distracted as they were with this match. And it was that was what all the chat was, wasn't it? It was like, it doesn't look right. What's the music? What's the presentation of Keith Lee? Not Keith Lee, the rest of it, but the presentation of him was all wrong, and continues to be wrong. Tag team match was great. Actually, I don't think Rollins did nearly as much in terms of the match.
Yeah, I mean, he worked the story and whatnot, but
he worked the story, and he worked the story hard. But in terms of the actual match, it was a little bit of a step down in terms of the match. But at the same time, it was more and less. And yeah, Universal title match was fucking dire, and I was so glad it was over. And just like, it's like, oh, we're gonna have this. Oh, we're fine. People are getting paychecks. Is all I can say. Yep. And now the Fiend is a face apparently, because whatever. We did get Alexa Bliss.
Oh yeah, totally
staring longingly and slightly confusedly at the screen. Thus, we're continuing the whole look. She's going to be fucking Sister Abigail, all right? Vince, but we know. We know.
Just get over with.
Get over done with. She's not doing anything at the moment because we've split up Bliss Cross. Hey, there's another tag team we split up. And what the hell is Nikki gonna do now?
I want her to just try to be a strong single wrestler, but
can we just have her go full NXT crazy again?
Please, I would love that.
Sanity Nikki is the best Nikki.
Oh yeah, it was really good.
Fuck it. Still one of my favorite moments. Ciampa dreaming her, and then Aleister Black. I know.
Yeah.
Still the best. All right. So there you go, folks. Next up is it All Out?
It is All Out. All Out 2.
AEW all Out 2, out even further. All in, all out, shake it all about. You do the Young Buck Koki and you turn around and super kick the person behind you. And then get a book on the New York bestsellers list or something. That's what you do. We'll see you then. We'll have predictions in their own time. The belt's still up for grabs. Is he gonna get 3 in a row? 3 weeks. 3 weeks, 3 wins. It's on the cards. It's on the cards, but there's a little matter of a samosa match. What the fuck is going on with? I love the fact that they've gone there. It's like, hey, champagne plus orange juice, you get samosa.
First I've heard of that.
That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what Jericho...
I just called it sparkling orange. You know,
Yeah.
back in the day. But hey.
Oh, hey. We've got that to look forward to, and we will look forward to that, I think. For now, though, thank you very much for watching or indeed listening. If you're watching, please do subscribe, and you can find out when our next little talk about wrestling goes up. If you're not interested in watching our faces, and you know, we won't hold it against you. We'll just be sad, but you won't see it because you're not watching. You can actually check us out on iTunes and Spotify and a whole heap of other podcasts, podcasting channels, platforms, whatever. Might be coming to another one soon, but I'm not actually allowed to say. Bizarrely, more on that another day. But for me and Turbo here, bye everybody.
Bye. What?
While we've been talking, WWE has come to terms with the release of AOP.
Oh crap! Oh, we just talked about them as well. Fuck them all.
It's all right. We're still recording, and this is being left in.
Oh god.
Well, on the plus side, there isn't one. Bye, everybody.